Good evening. This is Suzanne with another 45-minute Pilates class. You're going to need a band and a block, and of course, a safe space to work in. Now, for us tonight, it's a pretty warm evening. So if you're doing this on record and you're also doing this on a warm day, just make sure that you're nice and safe. So open a few windows. Make sure you've got some water handy. And if should you feel dizzy or light-headed, make sure that you have a break, please. Right, okay, here we go. Place your feet hip width apart. You can fit a fist between the front and the back of your feet. And then just stand nice and tall and just start shifting your weight onto the side, the back, and the other side and the front of your foot. Just arrive for me. Just take nice deep breaths, feel how you're pulling your tummy in, and then change the direction, go the other way, and how you're slowly finding that balance. And then find the heels and come to a complete standstill. Good, we're going to pull one arm forward, one arm backward. We're just moving through those arms. You gently pull the shoulders back and down. You breathe out as you lift the front arm forwards. You breathe in as you pull it back. Good. We're now going to start moving through the legs, and we're lifting the opposite leg to the arm that comes forward. Good. It's like a big march like you would see in London. Nice high knees. You're wearing a very tall, heavy hat. Keep breathing, so nice and upright. Make sure the hat doesn't fall off your head. Keep watching straight ahead. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. And then bring the arms up, look up to the ceiling, and then look down for me. Go again, look up and look down. Couple more nice big motions through the arms just to get used to movement. A last one, please. Take it up and take it down, and then grab hold of your waist. If you're struggling with balance, I'd like you to hold on to something. So we're going to take that leg out to the side, and we're simply lifting and lowering that leg. Make sure that the standing leg is nice and straight. You've got 4 more on the side. 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. And take the foot forward, turn your heel inwards, and do the same thing with the leg coming forward. Now make sure your spine doesn't start bending, so the upper body stays perfectly upright. You've got 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Good. And then take the leg behind you. Heel is now turned inwards, toes outwards, and you're lifting up and down. You're leaning forward gently for this one. Good. Make sure the standing leg is nice and straight. You've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Bring both feet together and place them a little bit wider apart. Bring the arms forward, come into squat, and back up again. Go again. Squat and back up. Make sure you keep looking at the horizon. So what I don't want to see, if I show you from the side, please don't place your head downwards, so you're not looking down at the floor, you're looking straight ahead at the horizon. So the upper body is quite upright, not perfectly upright, you're leaning forward at about 30 degrees. Nice and deep as you can take it. So if you haven't got any knee pain, I'd like you to take this a little bit deeper down than me. All the way up, really focus on clenching the glutes, the bum cheeks. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one, and we're going to hold it down here. Good. You're going to lean into your right leg. Just give me little pulses leaning into that right leg. Good. And then lean over into the left leg, little tiny pulses. Keep pulling the shoulders back and down. Let's do that again. Shift over onto your right leg. Keep bending those knees. Make sure you're breathing. And last, over to the left and swap. You've got 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back up and hold on to your waist. Swap over legs. Make sure the standing leg is perfectly straight. Breathing up and down. Try to keep the knee and the big toe facing forward. So some of you are turning the leg out. Just try to keep the knee facing forwards. Just imagine you have a little lamp on your knee and it's shining straight ahead of you. 2 more. Last one. We're coming forward. The heel is turned inwards, the toes are turned outwards. Here, watch out for forward leaning. Keep the upper body nice and upright. You don't really need to lift it quite so far up. So you can keep it fairly low if you need to. Make it look elegant, please. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring that down. Have a quick shake. Let's take this to the back. Turn your heel inward for this one. Lean forward slightly and off you go. Lift and lower. Just check that the standing leg is straight, please. Do make sure you hold on to something if it gets a little bit wobbly. You've got 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. And shake it out. Excellent. So what I would like you to do now, I don't want you to have to focus on balance. So I'm going to turn sideways to you and I'm going to hold on to the wall. So I'm going to hold on to the wall here. If you think you've got really good balance, you don't need to hold on to anything. But I'm holding on here. I've got my feet shoulder width apart, so fairly wide. We're going to go for a stretch through the front of our hips. We're going to take the foot that's furthest away from the wall that you're holding on to, and we're going to step back and we're going to lift the heel off the floor. Good. You're now going to gently bend the front leg. So I'm not really bending down here. I just don't push it straight. It's slightly bent. And I'm going to tuck my tail between my legs. And I'm really clenching through the bum cheek. Then you're going to lift that arm up. Good. So make sure it's the arm of the leg that's behind you. Good. And now if you want to increase that stretch, lean back a little bit. Make sure it doesn't take your breath away. And again, pull your tummy in and tuck your tail in. Really important. Feel it through the front of your hips. You've got 4 more. 3, 2. Good. And now you're going to come forward with the arm and you're going to grab the leg that's behind you to come into a quadricep stretch. So this is further down. So this first stretch, you should have felt somewhat up here. This one here is much closer to the knee. Depends a little bit where you're tight. So if you're feeling this slightly differently to me, then that's entirely possible. And the same here. Tuck your tail in, please. Clench your bum and pull your shoulders back. Get a nice little stretch through the shoulders as well. Good, and then let go of this. Let's copy this over to the other side. So our feet are shoulder width apart. I'm holding on to the wall. I'm standing back with the leg that's furthest away from the wall. Good, then I tuck my tail in, the front leg is slightly bent. I'm really clenching my bum cheek and I'm pushing my hips forward without leaning forward. Then I bring the arm up and now I'm leaning back. Keep tucking the tail in. Good, so you're really lengthening the distance between your fingertips and your knee. So front knee slightly bent. And I'm leaning practically with, I would say, about 80% of my body weight onto the back toes. Keep tucking the tail in. So we've shifted that weight backwards. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Grab hold of that back leg. Pull the shoulder back. Tuck your tail in and find the stretch here. Try to stand as upright as you can. If you're struggling with this due to knee issues, you can rest your foot on a sofa or a chair, or you can grab the band and strap your foot into the band. You've got 3 more breaths. 2, and 1. Fantastic. Let go of it. Good. I'm now going to stand on my mat because my floor is a little bit slippy. I'm going to stand on my mat with my legs really nice and wide. Good. I'm going to start off by just bending the knees and coming back out again. So I'm pushing my knee out to the side. So some of you are not quite wide enough. So just really find a wider stance in your shoulders. Even wider, all of you. Just make it a little bit wider. Perfect. So take it down and back up. If this doesn't work for you, for example, the knees are hurting, then come parallel and give me nice narrow squats. Good, we're going to imagine we're grabbing the seam of a jumper and then we're going to pull the jumper over the top of our heads. So come down, pull it up and bring it over the top of your head. So nice and low. Take it up and around. Keep breathing. Take it down, up and around. Really working through those bum cheeks. Make sure you draw the belly button in. You've got 2 more big movements here. Last one, take it down, pull the jumper over your head, and then keep your arms in this position. Perfect. You're now going to lean onto one leg, and then you're going to lean onto the other leg. Good. We're now going to move one hand over, so there is rotation in our spine, and then we're going to pull it back again. Good. And lean onto the front leg, rotate through the breastbone, and rotate it back to face to front. Let's do that again. Rotate the breastbone to the side, and pull it back to rotate forward. Good, and you're shifting that weight. Rotation of the spine, and pull it back. Good, we're now going to swap. So you're going to go over that way, rotate that breastbone, and pull the arm back. Go again, rotate, and pull it back. Anything that looks similar to this, I'm happy with. And keep going. You've got 3 more. Really feel how you're rotating that breastbone, this bit here, over to the side. And then rotate it back. Good, one more time. Rotation through the spine and rotate it back. Beautiful. And then bring your arms to your side. We're now going to go from side to side here. If you need to bring your feet a little bit closer together for comfort, you may do that. Find the length just above the waist, just above the hip bone, and then lift up and stretch over the midline. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale. Exhale, over to the other side. Do it again. Inhale and exhale. Find that length in your waist. Nice long stretch. Good, we've got 2 more here. If you find any niggly sensation in your shoulder, then don't do the arm. Just go from side to side. This is your last one. And bring it back again. Perfect. It's time to go onto the floor. Right, so we've warmed up all of our main muscles. Let's go onto the floor on our knees, hands at knees, and do a cat-cow. So down you come. That's it. Cat-cow, you start doing it whilst I fiddle the position off the laptop. Nice, lovely cat-cow, moving through the spine. Feeling the stretches. Front line and back line opening up. Couple more. And then come into neutral. Take your block and stick it underneath the palm of one of your hands. The fingers are not on the block. The fingers are just before that block. And then bring both hands parallel. And you'll find that your shoulders are at an angle, obviously, because one hand is on the block. So what I would like you to do to start off with is find perfect neutral. Pull the shoulders down your back. And then on the exhale, you're going to pull the hand that's on the floor up to make it parallel with the other hand that's on the block. So you'll find a shoulder retraction. Bring the hand back down again, and then pull the arm up. So that's the first part of our movement tonight. So pulling the hand up. Second part, so pull it up first, is then a rotation up to the ceiling. Make sure you breathe out as you do this. And then bring the arm back down again and sink it onto the floor. Let's go again. Lift the hand up, make sure the core is engaged, shoulders are down, breathe out to feel that stretch in the chest. Good, never force, never push. Pull it up and open up, nice and long. Lovely. 2 more times. Lift the hand up, inhale and exhale to find that rotation. Bring the hands parallel and then drop the hand to the floor. Pull the hand up and then exhale to lift into that rotation. Perfect. Good. Pull the block towards you. Bring both hands onto the floor and sit back for a moment into parallel child's pose. So we're not opening up our knees. We're staying in that parallel position. We're just giving our wrists a quick break. And then we need to change over hands. So bring the block underneath the other palm. Don't forget, fingers are not on the block. Good. Hand on the floor. Draw the belly button in, tuck the tail in. Core is engaged. And on the exhale, you lift the hand up so both of them are parallel. Just do that a few times. So you go from a slight angle in the shoulder to a parallel shoulder. Good. Now, inhale to lift up and then exhale to find the rotation. You might find that you're tighter on this side or indeed less tight. Inhale to pull up, exhale to rotate. Now bring it back down again. Go again, then lift up and rotate. With each one that you do, I'm hoping that you'll find a little bit more motion, a little bit more mobility. Make sure the tummy pulls in. Good. 2 more times. Lift up and rotate. Take it down. Make sure you look up to the ceiling as well, so the head is rotating at the same time. This is your last one. Bring it down and come onto your knees. Just shake out your wrists. And then I'd like you to lie onto your side, please. You can either use your arm or indeed you can use the block and lie down. You're going to bring your legs at an angle. So they're not perfectly in line with you, they're coming forward at an angle. Your hand can either be with fingers on the floor or hand on hip. Make sure that the waist is lifted, so make sure that those hips are perfectly stacked. Make sure your shoulders are perfectly stacked, so the rib cage is lifted as well. And then you start off by just simply lifting and lowering that top leg. Lovely. Breathe out and breathe in. Make sure that we don't overlift. So we want to keep that little waist gap underneath us. Keep going. Bring it up and take it down. Keeping that knee facing forward. Lift up and take it down. You've got 2 more here. Last one. Good. And then bring that leg in line with your body. So one is now further forward, the other one is in line. Point forward and flex it behind you. Make sure nothing is lifting. Point forward and flex it behind you. Inhale forward and exhale to pull it behind you. Bring it forward and pull it behind you. Keep going with that. Your pets always amuse me. They always make an appearance. And they're always sitting right in front of the camera. Bring it forward and pull it behind you. Good, you've got 2 more. Pull it forward and behind you. Wonderful. One more time. Pull it forward, pull it behind you. Good, and then bring it in line. Listen carefully. The top leg bends and you're going to lean back slightly and you're going to keep that knee facing up. Bottom foot is now flexed and now you simply lift and lower that bottom foot. So we're at the slight angle and now we're activating the inner thigh of the bottom leg. Yes, nice and high. Keep it straight. So I can see some of you are bending the knee slightly. Keep it perfectly straight, that knee. Looks good. Up and down. Breathe out on the way up, in on the way down. 2. You've got 1 more. Hold it at the top, find that length and give me little pulses here. Tiny little pulses, nice and high. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. We're now going to bring our legs forward. So the knees are at the 90 degree from our hips. So are our feet. Okay, so we're not pulling the heels in line with our bum cheeks. Our feet are forward. Good. Flex both of your feet and then lift and lower here. Up and down. Good. Keep going. Lift and lower. You should feel that again in your bum cheeks. Keep pulling your tummy in, tuck your tail in. Two more. Good. And then hold that leg hovering, just hovering. Lengthen the leg until you feel that stretch along the back end of your leg, and then bend it again. Straighten it forward and pull it back. And again, straighten and pull it in line. Good. And straighten. Pull it in line. Make sure you try to completely extend that knee so the knee is perfectly straight. Breathe out. Breathe in. And again. Straighten forward. Make sure the waist is lifted. Good. You've got two more. Bring it forward. You've got one more. Have breaks if you need to. Hold it. Turn your toe down. And now tap the floor and lift the leg up. Good. Keep going. Tap and lift. Nice. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one, and 1. Good job. And relax for a moment. Excellent work. Use your block. We're just going to turn over to our side for a moment, and we're going to stretch out the leg that we've worked on. So you're going to cross the leg that you've worked on over the thigh of the other leg and bring your arm into a T position. Perfect. So make sure that the leg you've worked on is the one that you cross over. And now what I would like you to do is bring those hips from side to side, feeling the stretches that you're producing here. Making sure you connect to your core and only bring it as low down as you can. Turn the head into the opposite direction. Keep moving through this. And again, only as far down as you feel comfortable. If you don't want to move at all, then don't move. You can just hold it nice and still, or you can do little baby movements from side to side. Don't forget your head is doing the opposite of your legs. This is your last one. Perfect. Bring that back to the center. Unfold your legs. Grab your blocks and change sides. So again, we're lying down on our side. We are maintaining stacked shoulders and hips so that the rib cage and the waist is lifted, and we're bringing our feet forward. Then we're going to check that both of our big toes are exactly the same length. That will also be an indication that our hips and our shoulders are stacked properly. Hold on to either the waist or the floor, and then point your toes elegantly, and then bring that leg up and down. You don't want to overlift. You want to bring this leg as far up as you can without dropping the waist onto the mat. Keep pulling the back of your head back. Got two more. Last one. Over the leg, bring it forward and flex it behind you. Making sure the bottom leg doesn't move. Bring it forward and flex it behind you. Make sure the upper body doesn't react to the leg. So we're feeling our core engaging. We're pulling our shoulders back. The back of our head is pulling back. We're pointing and we are flexing back. Going forward and flex behind you. Go again, point it forward, flex behind. You've got 3 more. 2. Last one. And keep that leg in line with your body. Turn that knee up, place the foot on the floor, and your whole body leans back slightly. You can even tuck your shoulder under and forward a little bit. then flex the bottom foot, and you go up and down. So it's now not the top leg working anymore, it's now the bottom inner thigh here. Really lead with your heel. Place the head so it's comfortable. So if you're looking into the screen and you're finding that your neck is just playing up a little bit, then turn away from the screen slightly and look up towards the ceiling a little bit, or just find a position that works for you. I'll let you know when we change. We're still going up and down. You're then going to hold this nice and high and give me little pulses. Keep that foot flexed. The shoulders back and down. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good job. And then lie back again on top of your shoulder. Everything is stacked. Your knees are coming forward. Draw the belly button in, tuck the tail in, flex both feet, and then take that up and down. Good. You can lift this really generously up towards the ceiling. Good. Flex your feet. Flex, flex, flex. That's it. Just keep going. Glance at your knee every once in a while, because those knees should be either the same length or the top knee should be slightly longer than the bottom one. Good. Keep going with this. Good. And then you're going to hover that knee right over the top of the other one. Lengthen and bend. Good. Bring it forward and bend it again. So you're really working on extending the knee. So unless the doctor has told you not to extend the knee perfectly, then please try to really find that length in the whole of your leg. And keep the big toe pulled towards you. That really helps to find length. So you should feel a little bit of a stretch in your hamstring and your calves. Forward and back down. Keep going forward and pull it in. You've got 2 more. Bring it forward, bend it again, last one. And then you're going to hold it at the front. Turn your big toe down, then tap the floor and lift it up. Not sure you can see what I'm doing here with all the shadows and the light and then my black socks. But I'm lifting my straight leg up and down. We're having lots of breaks if we need to. If you can, keep going, please. Up and down. That leg is getting heavier and heavier. Got 6 and 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Go on, 1 more and 1, and then have a little rest. Good. Turn onto your backs again. Use your block. Again, we are stretching the leg that you've just worked on. So cross the ankle over. Bring the arms out to the side like we did earlier. Draw the belly button in, tuck the tail in, and now we do the same movement. So we're going from side to side. We're looking away from our knees. We're going slowly so we can feel what we're doing. You don't have to go into the deepest stretch straight away. You can really work yourself towards that deep stretch. Couple more. Last one. Okay, we're going to move on into abdominal flexion. The ones with osteoporosis, give me pelvic tilts. Everybody else, interlace your hands behind your head. Draw the belly button in, tuck the tail in, and then lift your head and shoulders up as you look between your thighs. Breathe out as you lift. Breathe in to bring it down. So pelvic tilt, if you've got osteoporosis, that looks like this. Arms alongside you, you roll that lower back onto the mat and you reverse it again. We're not lifting our hips up at the moment. So this is your osteoporosis pelvic tilt. Everybody else, do a few more of these. We've got 4 more. Make sure you breathe out on the way up. You breathe in on the way down. We've got 2 more. Good. So if you're doing pelvic tilts, you're now going to imprint your lower back, draw the belly button in, lift the pelvic floor. If you can lift your head, stay up here. Look between your thighs. The same thing. You're pulling the belly button in. You're pulling the shoulders back and down. You're lifting your pelvic floor. Everybody, if you want to make it a little bit harder, a little bit more challenging, bring your legs into a tabletop position. Good. As soon as the neck hurts, place the hand behind your head first. If you find it still hurting, then place your head on the floor and carry on with the head on the mat. So don't struggle through neck pain. Just support the head and then see if that helps. If you want, you can lengthen the legs over the top of your hips. Keep your heels turned inwards and really clench through the inner thighs. Good. Keep going. You've got 61, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 71, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 81, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 91, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 99, 100. Bend your knees, pull the knees towards you until you feel your lower back making contact with the mat. And then you just rock from side to side. Lovely. Bring your feet onto the floor. And now everybody give me some pelvic tilts. So roll through that neutral spine until you find the small of your back touching the mat. And then recreate the gap again. Breathe out and breathe in. Good. And then you're going to engage your core. You're going to pull that lower back onto the mat. You're going to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, you're going to lift one leg, followed by the second leg. Good. Now you're going to pull one knee towards your chest. You have to keep your lower back on the mat. The other leg straightens out. Good. And now I'm not really bringing my legs very far forward. So I'm really working on trying to keep everything scooped in. That gap underneath my lower back does not increase. If you can do more, you're going to bring the legs further forward towards the ground. Make it look elegant. Good. If you don't have osteoporosis and no neck issues, you're going to lift the head off the floor and you're going to hold on to your legs. Outside arm is on the outside. Inside arm is on the inside of your thigh. You can also speed this up. Have lots of breaks if you need to. Only drop the legs as low down as you can without creating a gap underneath your lower back, without creating lightness or pressure. You've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull both knees towards you and lie back down again. Give yourself a little bit of a massage. Well done. Okay. I'd like you to grab your band. Grab your band and strap one of your legs into the band. Hold on to the band fairly loosely. So there's a little bit of tension in the band, but there is not a huge amount of tension. And then just heel the heel up to the ceiling and find the stretch. Draw that belly button in and extend the opposite leg. So the opposite leg now lengthens. Perfect. Good. Pull your tummy in. We're now going to pull the leg over our midline. Try not to move your hips. So you're going to feel a stretch on the outside line of your thigh. If you rotate the sole of your foot towards the floor here, you lengthen that outside line and you feel a deeper stretch. Okay, bring it back again. Some of you are not lengthening the opposite leg. Please lengthen the leg that you're not stretching. That's it. Do it again. Push that long leg into the floor and then take it over the midline. Turn the sole towards the ground. You get a nice deep stretch there in the outside of your thigh. You might need to pull the leg closer to you if you're quite flexible. Let's go again. Take it over the midline. Find that stretch. Good, and back again. Excellent. Bend both of your knees, swap over. And then again, just hold that leg. Big toe towards you, heel up, knees nice and long. Lengthen the opposite leg. Good, and now take this over the midline again, lifting the outside line of our foot to find a deep stretch from the hip down to our ankle and back to the center. Inhale and exhale, go again over the midline, find that stretch. Good, and really lengthen the opposite leg, so push the opposite leg firmly into the floor, the back of your knee, try to push it down into the mat. Again, bring this over the midline and back again. Let's do it one more time. Over the midline, sole of your foot is pointing downwards. Perfect, and bring it back to the center. Let go of your hands, place the band on the floor, and walk your feet nice and close to your bum cheeks. Let's do some more strengthening here through the hips. So we're going to really engage the shoulders down towards the floor. We're drawing the belly button, we're lifting our pelvic floor. We're tilting our hips towards the mat, and then once the lower back touches the floor, we start squeezing our bum cheeks, pulling those shoulders deeply into the mat, and coming up into a shoulder bridge. Really feeling that open sensation through those hips, and then take it back down again. One vertebra after the other one, nice and controlled. Back into neutral. Take a deep breath in. You might want to walk your feet a little bit closer to you, and then go again. Make sure you're activating the correct muscles here, so the bum cheeks and the shoulders in particular. The whole back line is engaged here. With those two areas, you should feel pretty clearly. Also make sure that your pelvic tilt at the beginning is nice and strong, because that will activate that core. Come all the way to the top. Good, and then just tuck your shoulders a little bit deeper underneath you. Perfect, hold it here. We're now going to open up one of our knees to the side, and then we're going to pull the knee back towards us. So we're opening one knee out to the side, and then we're closing it again. I'm just going to show you from the side. So one knee opens up and pull it back again. Good. We're not meeting in the middle here. We're bringing our knees exactly over our ankles. And keep going with this. So here you're working on backline strength, on core strength, on shoulder strength, but you're also working on that hip stability. So what you want to do here, you really want to hone in and focus on not allowing the hips to move. So the hips do not move. Great for hip stability. Open up. Close it again. Out the thighs are engaging. Open up. Close it again. Are you pulling the shoulders into the mat? Open up. Close it again. 4 more. Make sure the tail is tucking in. That pubic bone is pulling towards your rib cage. We've got 1 more on each side. When you open up, make sure the hips don't sink, so they stay nice and parallel. You've got 1 more on each side. Open up. And close. You've got 1 more. Open up. And close. Take a deep breath in, and then roll it down one after the other one. Perfect. Good job. All right, roll onto your front. So we're going to move on. We're going to move into back extensions. Nothing new here. So what I would like you to do is give me a neutral, sorry, not a neutral, a surrender position through the arms. Turn the heels inwards, draw the belly button in, tuck the tail in firmly. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, lift the back of your head up, and only lift it up as far as you can without there being any pressure in your lower back. And what you want to feel here is a stretch in the front of your tummy. You want to feel how you're engaging through the core and the bum cheeks to find that stretch. So if you need to, you can just lift the back of your head up and just give your breastbone a little bit of lightness. You do not need to come all the way up if you find that your core just isn't activating as it should. How do you know? Well, your lower back will feel a little bit icky. Sort of that increased pressure through the lower back. And that's really not what we want. We want to be able to feel that stretch in the front of our tummies. We want to feel how the bum cheek muscles are wrapping around our hips. We want to feel how the belly button is pulling strongly up towards the ceiling. And you really want to try to find that length just underneath the ribcage. You'll also find that your shoulders need to engage in order to produce the movement. Good. And now you're going to come down and you're going to turn your head towards the screen and just lie down. Just lie down. Good. We're now going to lose the height through the elbows. We're going to lift the head looking one way. Then we're going to turn the head to look over to the other way. And then we're going to bring the head back down again. So the elbows are now staying on the mat, but we're lifting this up as high as we can. We're finding rotation in the top third of our spine. So through that neck, rotate and bring it back down again. And you want to try to lie down onto your ear, really. You want to try to really find that deep neck rotation as you go from side to side. If you can also place your arms alongside you. Palms are facing up. And as you rotate over to the other side, your fingers are moving outwards and upwards, your thumbs, and then they come back down again. So what you should feel is much stronger activation through your back muscles and through your core. But if you find that this is too intense, then go back to that first option where your hands are in a surrender position. My hands don't really land anymore in this harder option here. And you should feel how your shoulder blades are pulling together. Come up. And bring it back down again. You've got one more, please. And lift up. Find the rotation. And bring it back down again. Then place the hands next to you. And come on up. And then lean back into a child's pose. This time, you're going to open up your knees. Open up your knees and sit back as far as you can. So if you can sit back further than me, then go for it. We're not going to stay here for a huge amount of time, just for a little bit of a release. And then you're going to come up and you're going to sit with your legs in a mermaid position. So ideally, one foot is at the front like this, the other one goes backwards. If you find that this isn't possible for you, you can tuck both of your legs under like that. If this is still not possible, you can sit with both of your legs forward. So you've got three options here. Try this one. It opens up the hips quite nicely. Bring your arms to your side. And then come down onto the elbow and stretch away from that knee. Keep pulling the hip away from your fingertips. Come on up. Fingertips on the floor. You won't be able to bring the elbow down on this side. It's a lovely stretch. And again, down onto your elbow on this side. Pull the hip away from your fingertips. Pull both of your shoulders down your back. Come back up again. And find that stretch on the short side. Beautiful. Bring both arms to the center. And then with elegance, you're going to swing the legs around and sit back. I'm not sure that was as elegant as it could have been. Bring that down onto the elbows, stretch it over. Good. Really pull the hip towards the floor here. That really gives you the best stretch. And then this side, you won't be able to bring the elbow down. This is your short side. Let's go again onto that elbow on this long side. And so this hip here, you need to pull the hip away from your hands, and that gives you the best stretch in the waist. One more time on the short side, fingertips on the floor. Make sure it doesn't take your breath away, and just lean over. Beautiful. And then bring that back to the center, looking elegant. And that is all done for today. Well done, everybody. Good. So the ones that are here recorded, goodbye, everybody. See you next time, I hope.